What's up, guys? It's Andy here. Welcome back to another episode of Painfully Honest Advice. So I love this topic and I love talking about credit cards. In this video, I'm going to go ahead and introduce you guys to my credit card tiering system. Basically, I have created a tier system that's going to be broken up into 6 different tiers. And it's going to start off with cards that you basically can get approved for without even getting your credit report pulled. And then we'll go ahead and start getting into more and more exclusive cards, as well as all the different perks with all of these cards. Now, this credit rating system is going to be focused around if you have bad credit, if you have no credit, if you have good credit, or if you have excellent credit. Basically, we'll go ahead and break it down into every single tier. And I'll go ahead and share with you guys some of the best cards in every single one of these tiers and the pros and cons and basically some of the benefits with every single tier. Now, if you are new to my channel, I make videos all around topics like this, which include business, personal finance, and investing. So if you're new, make sure to subscribe to the channel down below. And guys, this video did take me a lot of research, as you guys will tell in this video, and all I ask is just a quick hit of that like button. But let's go ahead and jump into it. Now, if we get into the first tier here, the first tier is going to be credit cards that anybody can get approved for that do not pull your credit. Now, this tier is going to include the Open Sky credit card, it's going to include the Green Dot Platinum credit card, and it's going to include the Applied Bank secured credit card. Now, in regards to this tier, this is cards that basically do not pull your credit history and anybody can get, but you do need to put down a security deposit with any of these cards. Basically, with a secured credit card, these are going to be all secured credit cards. So what that means is that you have to put down a security deposit with one of these cards, and then by putting down a security deposit, they'll go ahead and match that credit limit. Now, this is a starter card for anybody that has basically no credit, or anybody that's missed payments in the last 6 months, or basically is trying to go ahead and rebuild their credit. Now, with these cards, these are going to be considered higher subprime cards. Basically, with a subprime card, they are a higher risk, so the bank does charge a higher interest rate on these cards, as well as all of these cards do have an annual fee. Now, with the Open Sky credit card, for example, they have a $35 annual fee. So this is one thing that you do want to go ahead and recognize with this card. But if you have had any delinquencies in your credit, this is going to be the best way to go ahead and start rebuilding your credit, or get a credit card to go ahead and report to all 3 credit agencies. So with any of these cards, they do go ahead and actually submit your credit report to all 3 credit agencies, which is a nice way to go ahead and start building your credit. Now, with all of these cards, they do not have any kind of point system, or they do not have any kind of perks as well. The main point of any of these cards is to go ahead and start rebuilding credit. Now, as we go ahead and get into the second tier here, tier 2 cards are going to be cards for anybody that has a credit score of under 650. Now, with tier 2 cards, a lot of these cards are still going to be secured credit cards, but they'll go ahead and eventually become unsecured. So these companies will go ahead and at least give you back your security deposit as long as you have good credit history with them. And that's usually after maintaining a consistent payment for over 6 months. So some of these cards are going to have an annual fees as well, and majority of these cards do not have any points. Now, these cards are usually good for people that have no credit, or that are just starting off to start building their credit. And some of these cards are going to go ahead and include the Capital One secured credit card, the Credit One credit card, the Indigo credit card, the Self Builder credit card, as well as the Discover It secured credit card. So a lot of these cards are going to be secured cards, but they'll eventually go ahead and give you back a security deposit. But a lot of these cards, people do have a lot of advantages and disadvantages with, because with these cards, they will go ahead and actually have points as well associated with them. For example, with the Discover card, it does actually offer you perks, and it does have a cash back option, and it does have points as well associated with that card. With the Capital One card, that was actually one of my first credit cards, so I do personally really like that credit card if you're just starting to build credit and you have no credit at all. Additionally, with the Credit One card, it is an unsecured credit card, meaning that you do not have to have any type of security deposit with that company. Now, I can tell you guys just from experience, it's not one of the best cards on the market because they do charge you a lot of fees. So a lot of these cards are going to have higher interest, and they're going to have fees associated with them if you're doing any particular type of transactions. For example, with the Credit One card, their interest rate is right around 30%. So obviously, guys, these are going to be cards to go ahead and just start building credit history, but this is basically going to be the cards for the tier 2 system. And as we go ahead and jump into the next tier here, the next tier and the tier 3 cards are going to be cards for anybody that has a score of at least 650. Now, some of these cards are going to be cards that offer the most perks so far. And basically, a lot of these cards are going to have either cash back or they're going to have a reward system. And a lot of these cards, or majority of these cards in this tier, are going to have no annual fees. Basically, these are going to be the best cards for day-to-day use, and these are going to come with a lot of the perks. Plus, a lot of these cards are going to have maybe a small sign-on bonus. It could be anywhere from $100 to $250. And with the majority of these cards, you'll go ahead and at least get a $500 credit limit to go ahead and start off. And then additionally, with these cards, they'll go ahead and just evaluate your credit every 6 months or a year, and they'll go ahead and just keep increasing your credit. So all of these cards are going to be unsecured cards that you do not have to put down any type of security deposit with. And these cards are going to include the Citi Double Cashback Reward Card, which is one of my favorite cards because they actually give you 2 times the rewards. It's going to additionally include the Discover Credit Card, which is also another great card because you have many different options and many different looks for that card that you can go ahead and get in many different designs there. It's also going to include the Apple Credit Card. It's going to include the Amazon Prime Credit Card, and it's going to include the Chase Freedom Credit Card. So a lot of these cards are going to be more brand name cards that people do recognize, and some of these cards are going to be just better looking cards, better appealing cards, and these cards aren't going to have any type of annual fees. Now, these are some of the cards that I personally use on a day-to-day basis because of their perks and their point system. But because these cards also offer some of the best perks, like for example, the Amazon Prime card that offers you double to triple the points when you go ahead and shop with that card on Amazon. These cards are all going to have many different perks that are connected to them, and majority of people are going to usually fall within this tier T bucket because a lot of these cards are going to be the more day-to-day cards that we can all go ahead and eventually get once you do have a credit score of at least 650. And now, before we go ahead and jump into tier 4 cards, I want to go ahead and thank our sponsor for this video. This video is being sponsored by Webull. Webull is basically a trading platform that offers you 2 free stocks. 1 free stock when you go ahead and sign up and open an account with them, and a second free stock that can be worth up to $1,400 when you go ahead and deposit at least $100 in your account. Now, I do invest with Webull. It's a great platform if you're looking at paper trading or just starting off trading in the stock market. But now let's go ahead and jump into the tier 4 cards, which are going to be cards that basically require at least a 680 to 700 credit score. Now, a lot of these cards in the tier 4 are going to have an annual fees, but the rewards will cover the fees and more. So basically, a lot of the cards here are going to have rewards that are going to outweigh the annual fees that come with that card. Now, with these cards are going to offer better perks as well. Basically, with these cards, you'll go ahead and get a sign-on bonus, and a lot of these cards will offer a sign-on bonus anywhere between $250 to $500 depending on the card and depending on how much you use that card between the first 2 to 3 months. So now, just jumping into some of these cards, it's going to include the Chase Sapphire card, which is going to offer 2 times the points. And another one's going to be the Citi Premier card that's actually going to offer you 3 times the point. And then another one is going to be the American Express Gold card, which will come with an annual fees, which is right around $250, but they'll go ahead and give you a lot more perks with this card, and they actually offer 4 times the points, as well as the Marriott Bonvoy credit card that's also going to offer you a free night of stay at their hotels. So with these cards, they have many different perks, and their multipliers on their points is a lot better. So we are starting to get into cards that are more exclusive cards that do have additional privileges and much higher credit limits. So these are great cards for anybody that's starting to build their credit and that has a credit score of right around 700. But now, jumping into tier 5 cards, these cards are going to start becoming more exclusive. Tier 5 are going to be basically cards that are going to be more exclusive cards or some of the premier cards on the market. Now, a lot of these cards are going to have higher annual fees, but they're going to come with a lot higher perks. So these cards are going to start off with an annual fee of $450 or more. And a lot of these cards are going to require at least a 720 or more as far as the credit score goes. But with these cards, you are going to have airport access and lounge access and VIP access to different lounges, as well as many other travel benefits as well. Now, a lot of these cards and all of these cards within this tier are going to start you off with at least a $10,000 credit limit to start on that credit card. Additionally, these cards are going to have higher sign-on bonuses, and they're going to start off with a sign-on bonus for at least $500, and they'll go as high as $1,000 as far as the sign-on bonus. Now, this is going to be the highest tier when it comes down to a card that you can actually apply for, because the next tier is going to be exclusive credit cards that are going to be by invite only. But as far as some of the cards within tier 5, it's going to include the American Express Platinum credit card. It's also going to include the Chase Sapphire Reserve card. It's going to include the Citi Prestige credit card, and it's going to include the Luxury Gold card, which is basically a card that's made of gold that costs $1,000 as far as their annual fees go. So a lot of these cards are going to be a bit flashier cards that you won't actually see a lot of people have. So they do have that prestige level to them, and it's just one of those things that's recognized when somebody uses a card that, hey, this person is spending $500 to $1,000 on this card. So they do build that a little bit of exclusiveness if you have one of these cards. And now just jumping into the 6th tier. The 6th tier here is going to be the most exclusive cards. Basically, all these cards are going to be by invite only. And within this tier, I'm going to go ahead and share with you guys 3 different credit cards, and I have all 3 of these. Just kidding, guys. I don't have any of these. I wish I had all 3 of these, but I have not gotten an invite for any of these cards. These are basically going to be cards that you do have to qualify for by spending a certain amount or by already having a certain type of relationship with that type of financial institution. And the perks with these can usually go ahead and cover the annual fees. It's basically more of a prestige card that basically show off a status of sorts that you have because you did go ahead and get approved for that card. So they're much flashier cards to go ahead and show off. So now the first one is going to be a very popular card that you probably have heard of and a lot of people in the credit card industry know about, which is going to be the American Express Black credit card, or it's also called the Centurion credit card by American Express. Now, this card is going to be a card that does have an annual fees of at least $5,000, and it is going to be by invite only from American Express. Now, to actually even qualify for this card, you do have to spend at least $450,000 with American Express on one of their other credit cards. And even after you do that, you still may not get an invite. This is basically a celebrity type of status when you have the Centurion credit card. But the second card on this tier is going to be the J.P. Morgan Reserve credit card. Now, with the J.P. Morgan Reserve credit card, it is meant for their private business customers only, and basically customers that are part of their private banking sector. Now, with this card, it does have an annual fees of $595, but additionally, you are going to have additional perks with this card as well because you are a member of J.P. Morgan's private banking sector. And the third card in this tier is going to be the Coutts credit card. Now, Coutts is one of the biggest and largest private banking companies within UK. It's basically where the Queen keeps her money in the UK, and it is the most and exclusive credit card in the United Kingdom. Basically, to even qualify to have an account with this bank, you do need to have at least £1 million in deposits with the bank. So it's a very exclusive card that only members of this private bank can have. So guys, these are basically gonna be all 6 of the tiers within the credit card system that I've basically gone ahead and done my research through and built them together. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I tried to keep it very simple in this video and basically create a ladder system here. And if you do like content like this, and if you like more videos around credit cards, make sure to hit that like button. Like I said, this video did take me a long time to do the research to try to put all of these cards together into the different tiers. And hopefully, I'm hoping you guys really enjoyed that. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. Let me know what credit card you started started off with, or what's your favorite credit card out of this list. But thank you guys for watching this video. If you are new to my channel, make sure to subscribe to the channel down below. And additionally, if you have not taken advantage of 2 free stocks with Webull, it's basically free money at the end of the day. So I would go ahead and use that opportunity while it is a limited promotion that they're offering. But thank you again, guys. I will see you guys at the next one.